Hello and welcome to Starnld's Tier 6 skirmishes with W-UNI. I have a few battles for you today, and we're going to start on Karelia, going up against 4 Kroms and 3 heavier mediums. We have 1 light tank. They do not have any, but we don't have any Cromwells, so they're a lot faster than us. We're going to start initially. We're going to play to the north. You saw me clicking. Going to send a T-37 out a little bit ahead of us, and his job is to spot them if they're coming north and spot them if they're going down the middle. Going down the middle is kind of rare. Really, we want the early spots on them going north. In this case, we're playing a fairly fast team, so I honestly thought they were going to go north. They choose not to, and you'll see Mini Dump in his T-37 gets halfway, doesn't see anything. I tell him go ahead, go a little further. So he's going to slowly advance, and still not seeing anything. With them having 4 Cromwells, I'm thinking they're not camping. So at this point, fairly shortly, I'm going to be like, okay, he's way up there. He hasn't seen anything. It's time to turn around and go back to base. 3045s are fast for a medium, but they're not as fast as Cromwells, and we can't overcommit. We have to be able to get back to the base to reset. So at this point, instead of overcommitting, I send us back to our cap thinking, okay, they went the south route to take the hill. They didn't find us there. They should be advancing through it. While we're going back here, I set Mini Dump loose to find and explore, or explore and find, and look at as far up as he is, and he hasn't seen anything yet. So at this point, they're not even camping. So we fully expect them to come charging off of the hill down towards us. They may leave a sniper or 2 on the hill. It'll be hard for those guys to shoot us in this cap. Shooting from the hill to the other cap is a lot easier. And at this point, we should start getting some lights. There we go. There's the first one. There's 3 actually, and we start shooting. We'd like to shoot the same target. That one gets behind the hill, so we can't keep shooting that one. This guy's way out in the open. I think he knows it. He stops to take a shot anyways. Now we should all be shooting the same target. You saw a couple of shots go towards the guy that's in the back. This guy's now 1 shot. We finish him off. And now at this point, Mini Dump is on their cap to put a little pressure on them. We haven't seen their Cromwells yet. We've only seen these 3485s. Fully suspect at this point the Cromwells are going back towards Mini. Meanwhile, we have these couple here who are just getting torn up. Again, he's caught out in no man's land. Tracked and should get finished. Now we got the guy behind the rock there. Coffee's put himself in a position he might have shots. Yeah, he did have shots on him. And then the Cromwells show up going after Mini Dump. At this point, so we're going to move up. We're not going to go down the middle because there's 3 other Cromwells not spotted. We're going to go around first to the hill. We don't want them to shoot us from the hill, so we're going to check that out first. We asked the 3045 Coffee in the lead to wait for us. Meanwhile, look at Mini Dump. He's still alive. He's got 2 Cromwells on him, running around like a madman, staying alive. At this point, he gets below the ridge, so they don't really have shots on him. But they're going to put the full-out chase on. We got 1 guy coming back of the Cromwells. We try to get shots in on him. Everybody misses. He's going back to help his buddies out and get the chase after the T-37. We find 1 Cromwell that for some reason stayed up on the hill. He's about to find himself badly outnumbered. If he knows that we're here right now, he should have already been running. He might think there's only 1 of us here. I'm not sure. Look, our T-37 is still alive. Mini Dump running for his life. And we've got this 1 Cromwell isolated. And they finally kill Mini Dump. And we are going to go full in on this Cromwell. That we don't feel that they're going to have shots on us. And Cashlin comes up from the back. Now we finish this guy off, and we're looking at 3 Cromwells and us. And again, we don't want to overcommit. I'm going to send Cashlin back to our cap in case for some reason they decided to circle around and do a capping maneuver. I don't want to risk that. The other 3045s, there's a good chance they would not be able to get back if they did that. A 3 on cap is a quickie. Meanwhile, Coffee's going to move up and try to spot the Cromwells for us. And we have one other guy down low. I think that's probably Touchy-feely, and me and the 3001P laser tanker up top. We're going to get shots on this first Cromwell. Of course, we missed twice. He splashes because he's got the derp on right now. I land one. Land another one. And he finishes them off with the derp. Coffee lit another one, and Coffee's going to take a beating now because he's got 2 Cromwells up there. I think he gets shot by both of them. I think Touchy's getting some shots in. We're not really able to get any shots, so we're gonna. I'm gonna go circle around to the bottom. Laser's gonna stay up and snipe for a bit, and we're gonna utilize Coffee as a spotter. He's gonna try to stay below the ridge and hope he doesn't get jumped by the remaining 2 Cromwells. And Touchy-feely and I are going to push up with our sniper coverage. As soon as we spot the second one, Cashlin, who's in the back, he's going to start moving in a position to cut them off if they were to run. I dropped the Artie. Well, I didn't need to, but I felt like it, and we get rid of Scooby. So there's 1 Cromwell left, and now everybody can move up. And Coffee's doing his darndest to spot him. Not sure if he spots him and gets dead, or if he never spots him and gets dead anyways. And there, Coffee dies. And the last remaining Cromwell. Touchy's going to go in on him, and now I'm climbing uphill, so it's going to take me a while to get there. Laser tank's way out of position because he was late. Not late coming off the hill, but he'd left the hill later than we did. And Cashman's moving up the other side in case the Cromwell decides to run. Full confidence in Touchy here, but I'm proceeding on just in case he needs help, and he takes care of it all by himself. So that was all about reacting to what we saw, and reacting to the tanks that they had properly. Now in this case, another very fast lineup. We got 5 Cromwells, a T50-2, and a 130-45. So we don't want to push. They're so fast again that we don't want to overcommit. So we're going to go and we're going to scout the middle like we normally would. We are going to go into the sniper area of HJ23, and we're going to aim our guns down to the 1-2 line. If need be, we can, if our light tank spots them coming a different direction, we can turn our guns around and we can snipe them coming across. The meta on this, not too many people go the beach, the 9-0 line. You do see some rushes down the 6 line more often. Actually, fairly often. Sometimes even right down the middle. That's why you scout the middle. In this case, he didn't see anything come in the middle, and he goes in deeper into the Abbey. And an unusual thing here is we see the T50-2 and then the 2 Cromwells. As soon as we see all those Cromwells light up, it's time to turn around. You got to make that call quick. If you don't and you overcommit, you're not going to get back in time to defend it. The other nice thing is on this end, it is pretty easy to defend from that sniper's loft as long as you can get spots. So we've sent a couple tanks over to defend the cap, up in the cap. Mini's going to come back to spot, and we have 2 snipers. And we're going to go up in here and mix it up. I was trying to be careful here. I was going to try to shoot the guys on the left, but they could put too many people on cap. So we're going to have to concentrate more on the cap. They lose 1. They can send 1 charging into us, and he's going to try to ram Mini. He does a lot of damage but fails, and he gets dead. Now they have 2 on cap, and again, I was going to shoot over there. But it's actually more important right now that we shoot what's actually on the cap, so I changed my focus. And I get ammo racked and take a couple shots from the guys on the left, but trying to kill this guy in the cap. Somehow missed that shot. Cashlin finishes him off, and I'm like, why am I waiting for my gun so long? Oh, I'm ammo racked, so I fix the ammo rack. And we're up by 2 tanks here, so we're in pretty good shape, and we haven't even seen the 3045 yet. Cromwell's running. He knows better than to come in after us. And at this point, I think right about here, yep, I get spotted. And I don't really, it doesn't dawn on me what spots me. Some of you more practiced players probably know that there's that 3045 in the Abbey. That's what spotted me. And I'm aware of that. It just didn't dawn on me at the time. Now here we make a pretty big mistake that we don't pay for. But we split up. We got 2 of our tanks going after the Abbey and 2 of our tanks chasing after this Cromwell. I've got no business chasing after the Cromwell. Cashlin and his Cromwell, he can go chase. I shouldn't be doing it. And our 2 tanks that we left in the Abbey, one is isolated, the other one's trying to get around and flank, which in general is not a bad idea, except that they're separated. So if that 3485 decided to one-on-one the VK, he very well could have done that. Like I said, it works out in our favor. Me and Cashlin are both too slow getting to this Cromwell. I almost get into a position to shoot him, but now that their Cromwell is getting into a position where he can start shooting our guys. And like I said, that's the mistake that we made there. They could have easily gotten in a position where they lost that. Luckily, they don't lose it, they win it. And now we just have the 1 Cromwell, and we have 3 tanks on them. And at this point, I'm not going to commit to going into the Abbey. In case this guy decides to run, I'm going to stay along the edges and catch him when he comes out. He doesn't run, they finish him off. Now we got the same map. We're playing from the other side, and we're going up against a much heavier lineup, and we're going up against a known to be good team, Tier 6. Although they are missing one of their main players, Marine Tanker. We have 2 Type 64s, a bunch of 3045s, and an A43. A43 is pretty quick, but it doesn't hit hard. Good DPM despite not hitting hard, but it doesn't have the alpha damage. So we're going to play this a little cautiously. I'm going to send actually my 2 Cromwells in with the T-37 so that he doesn't get isolated and removed from the game. They're supposed to stay back a little bit and only go in if need be. And the rest of us are going to go up into the sniper's loft and play a little patience game. And mostly we're playing this patience game because it's Tier 6. And we don't know where they're going to be, and we don't want to rush headlong into them. If we've separated ourselves too. So again, I don't want to rush 4 tanks into 5. So 4 tanks can maybe handle 5 tanks if you're playing defensively, but if you jump into them 1 tank at a time because you're moving, it's not as easy. So we're going to be a little patient here. We have no idea where they are yet. We know where the 2 types are. And we're just going to be patient. Monks got a little impatient, moved up a little too far, took a shot for it over there in the middle. Mini has tried to spot the 1-2 line, or I'm sorry, the 890 line in case they were going down the river road. If they did, we're going to be here a while. And I had not really wanted the Cromwells all the way up in the Abbey. I kind of had wanted them to stay back in case in case there was a push on us, or in case there was a river road push, they would be in a position to spot the river road push or come back and help us if need be. Excuse me. So again, the patience game. I know it's hard to watch through this. Then we see the A43. Right away, I know I'm in a bad position, so I reposition to try to get behind the rock. And we spotted 3045. They managed to artillery our 3001, and we're going to RD them back in exchange. Touchy lands the shy. He's behind me in the little nook. We take out most of 2 tanks, and Touchy finishes the other one. And now it's a free-for-all. Bounce a shot there with focus fire. The A-43 is gone. I'm focusing on this guy. I'm protected by the rock from the other one. The other one gets in position. He can shoot me, so I try to get to the side. I bounce from right next to him and then die. Now touches alone against 2. When this first broke out, as soon as we spotted them, I called the Cromwells back. So finally Cashlin gets back, and he's going to help Touchy finish off this guy. 2-on-1, and we have 2 other reserves still about to get into battle. And now we have finished off their tanks. So now we have to chase down 2 Type 64s. You guys don't really want to watch that too much, so we're going to fast forward through it. A bunch of 3485s of Cromwells chasing down Type 64s. I think we're going to fast forward through it. Hello, fast forward. There's my call. We're going to put a couple in the sniper position. We're going to send mini dump down the middle, try to spot them again. And we creep up 1 rock at a time, see if we can spot anything. Now Touchy's really unhealthy going into here. He took a beating in that free-for-all. We spot 1 Type 64. Cashlin misses a shot. Touchy gets the whole thing. 2 shots, dead Type 64. And at this point, yeah, Touchy, you see that 200 and something damage on the Type 64. Touchy's shooting HE at the Type 64. Mungs, who received a phone call in the middle of it, decides to not barely even shoot and just rams him. Now we go into steps. And we are facing 2 KV-2s, 2 Thunderbolts. That's a lot of armor. Much slower than us. We have 2 light tanks. So we're going to let the light tanks do their work, and we're going to take up sniping positions and see if we can catch them out while they are moving into position. That'll also help us determine which side they're on and how we're going to attack. A lot of times 2 light tanks is very advantageous. There's times where it bites us. They don't have as much hit points, but we have 2 very skilled light tank drivers, so don't usually get too concerned with that. And right off the bat, we spot the A-43 and the T-37. And of course, everybody else hits shots and I don't. And we spot 1 of the Thunderbolts. At this point, Mini Dump's going to back off a little bit. He doesn't need them to push into him. So now we know about where they are. Very unlikely that they've split the KV-2s off to the right-hand side. So we're going to reposition to try to fight them on the DE-34 area. We're going to try to fight them from where you see the T-37 right now. He's going to try to get some lights ahead of time, maybe distract them a little bit while we're repositioning. Now again, we're a lot of 30-45, so we're not exactly speedy. We're faster than the KV-2s and the Thunderbolts, but like I said, not speedy. We're a little concerned because when we saw the T-37, he was kind of headed towards our cap. We catch the Thunderbolt heading towards the little sniper's nest back there. And we leave our T-37 to scout the back end of things in case they kept moving and didn't actually camp like we suspected. And there you see the Thunderbolt. I'm able to get 1 into him. Slappy had already put a couple into him. And it wasn't me, but somebody finished off the T-37. Oh, it was Slappy. There's no big surprise. And we see the other 4 tanks over there. So let's leave the Thunderbolt alone. Let's go back to our cap and take on these 4 tanks. Now we're going to have numbers coming into this. So they have those 4. They left the Thunderbolt behind, and we've still got all 7 of us. So basically it's 7 on 4. We need to be careful. They're KV-2s. We don't want to get one shot. Our light tanks are doing their magic and spotting them. And it's almost impossible to cap on this map in this position when you have people sniping, hiding behind the little berms and ducking. They're trying to get into good sniper positions. This 30-45 gets caught out. We put as many shots into him as we can. Track him. Keep the focus fire. Kill that guy. Don't worry about the A-43. He's dead. Now worry about the A-43. You see everybody concentrate and focus their fire. That's good. We killed those. And now we got the 2 KV-2s and the Thunderbolt. Let's move in. The Thunderbolt, there's no way he's here by now. Even if he left right when we left, it's a Thunderbolt. He's not going to get far. The only thing in here now is don't get one shot. Go in as a team. Make sure, call out who fires and when they fire. That way we can focus our fire on and move in on the ones that have fired. We see this guy fired, so we're going to take shots at him. The other one fired, so he's a free-for-all now. Everybody's fired. Start counting yourself how long the reload is. Killed the one. Now by the time we get to this other one, he's going to be reloaded. We make sure everybody knows that. Putting shots into him. And managed to kill him before he kills somebody else. So that was all about repositioning. And good light tank work. Don't forget the good light tank work. We got this one little Thunderbolt. It's pretty much just charge. And finally spot him. And he's done. And into our last battle. Insane. And we are shooting at a KV-2, a KV-85, a 4S. That's a lot of derping. A couple of 30-45s and 2 light tanks. So this looks like a camp setup. We're going to play it like we would play any other thing at first. So again, we're playing 2 light tanks, so we're going to let them do their work. And we're going to go into the positions where we can take advantage of that work, which is this hill over here. Very strong position. Staying together, playing as a team. Sends mini dump on one side. And these decisions are made based on mini dump is on the left, so he's going to play the left, and Slappy's on the right, so he's going to play the right. So far so good. Send mini a little further up. Slappy spouting the field. And we're all just going to be patient and wait here. We see one light tank. We see the other light tank. And Slappy catches the KV-2 out. And 2 other tanks. So at this point, they have 2 tanks, or 4 tanks on the right. And these light tanks are all by themselves. We put a couple shots into this KV-2. Finish him off. And now the call is charge the light tanks. The light tanks at this point have no support. Finish them off. Now he circles back into this. He would have been better off going along the side of the other side of the hill so that he could have support from his team, if any. And we're going to try to get some shots on this Type 64. I make sure to remind mini dump not to cross over because they're going to have shots. And you never want to over chase a Type 64, especially when they're running back to the people you already know are there. So we still have our 2 light tanks. Actually, we still have all 7 of us. This guy sees me, I put a shot into him, he puts a shot into me. No, doesn't put a shot into me. I overcommit a little while I was still spotted. The Type 64 takes advantage of it. Now, even though we have numbers here, they're in a pretty strong defensive position. We don't really want to push this as is. We have 130-45 in the back that's getting angled shots in on them. That's a good thing. We were thinking about trying to get shots to see where the T-37 in the north is. I was kind of hoping he might be able to have some shots from over there. So I was going to send the other light tank, or even a 30-45 over with him. He tells me there's not really any shots on them from over there. So because of that, we change our minds. And we're going to pull a flank and actually send, change our minds and send the T-37s and that 30-45 that's alone, send them together around the flank. It's going to take a little bit for that to develop. Meanwhile, they're kind of just poking and bleeding. A lesson to be learned there: if you're taking a lot of damage by poking, stop poking. Make the enemy come to you. Unfortunately, they're pretty spread out to do that. If they were a little more concentrated, they'd have been better served to do that, make us come to them. They keep poking, and look at all the damage that they've taken. And so this is taking a little while to develop. I finally make the call to send them around the side to flank them. The 30-45s try to make a move. They get away with it. And we got artilleried. And I'm going to try to do an artillery strike in exchange. I don't have any spots. I kind of wasted it here. We're up by 2 tanks. It didn't hurt to try that. It probably would have been better served to wait till I had somebody spotted, though. Now, while we're doing the flanking maneuver, we want to make sure that we keep their attention so they think that we're still here. So I didn't mind baiting a shot there. I would have preferred to not get hit, but baiting the shot makes them know that we're still here. And our flankers take out that 30-45. Now they just have the 3 tanks. They got the KV-85, the 4S, and the 30-45. And we just let it play out. I put a shot into him, he puts a shot into me. I have lots of support still, so I'm not panicked about it. Cashlin's trying to move up a little bit and spot him. Got the 2 light tanks are finally going to be getting into position to do some spotting. And they finish off the 30-45. Still got the 4S and the KV. KV is nice, tucked nicely behind a rock. Cashlin's going to start moving in on him while our other tanks take on the 4S. The 4S manages to kill both our T-37s. So now it's fairly close. Now they have the KV-85 and the 4S, and they're fairly good health, and we're kind of not healthy. Cashlin takes a shot and puts a shot in. He was the worst for that. And I'm going to try to flank the KV-85. who I think is looking to, yeah, he's still looking at Cashland, trying to maybe support his 4S. I finish him off, and Coffee finishes off the 4S. As always, thank you for watching my Tier 6 skirmish videos. I hope that my insights and seeing the various positions on the map helps you to get better at this mode of the game. My favorite by far mode. I hope it helps you get better in everything except your battles against us. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment. I try to get back to any comments that I actually see. Thank you.